You're watching Reuters TV.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Hey guys, what's going on? Spire Kid here. Is my mic working right? Yes, there we go. Welcome everybody to the stream. What are you up to? My mic seems to go wherever it wants now. I don't know why that is. Let's see here. Whatever. It's fine. Alright. So, alright. Here's the deal. My town could be suffering wildfires again. Let me explain what's going on here. There's been a huge heat wave that has occurred here, which has brought temperatures to all-time highs, and that's just exacerbated the fire risk danger to high, extreme, and we're probably getting some thunder tonight nearby, and you know, when lightning strikes, there's going to be fires brewing in the forest and whatnot. So I'm very concerned about what's going to be going on with that. For more information on all of these breaking news stories that's affecting me directly, let's take a look at Reuters TV.
Your top stories. You're watching Reuters TV. Here are your top stories.
Bill Cosby is released from prison after his sexual assault conviction is overturned.
What are you expecting from today's meeting, sir?
Former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, who oversaw the U.S. invasion of Iraq, has died.
Is this teen Nigeria's next boxing champion?
This is Reuters Now.
Alright, let's turn to the news. This heat wave.
The scorching temperatures in Canada eased slightly on Wednesday, but that certainly did not bring any relief. Lytton, a town in central British Columbia, broke Canada's all-time hottest temperature record 3 times this week, eventually climbing to 121 degrees Fahrenheit. On Wednesday,
49.5 degrees Celsius.
107 degrees. One government climatologist who described this week's heat wave as spectacular and unprecedented says the heat wave still looks this week to erase high temperature marks decades ago. At least 233 people died in BC between Friday and Monday. According to the Provincial Coroner Service, that's about 100 more deaths than the average 4-day period. Across the country, residents are trying to stay safe and beat the heat. Some are seeking shade or water. Many are seeking air conditioners, and bottles of water are being distributed to those in need. The extreme heat has closed schools, driven up natural gas prices, and scorched crops across the prairies, where farmers grow much of the world's wheat and canola. President of the Alberta Federation of Agriculture, Lynn Jacobson.
So what it means in the long run is a yield that's not going to be up to our average. In fact, it could be way below the average in a lot of areas.
The heat dome has stretched beyond Canada and into the United States. The major Pacific Northwest cities of Portland and Salem in Oregon and Seattle in Washington were trapped under a high-pressure dome too, shattering temperature records earlier this week.
Yeah, this heat wave currently is unprecedented. It shattered records here where I live. It got about around probably 43 degrees outside my house. My bedroom reached like 31 degrees Celsius. My living room here reached 20 degrees Celsius. I just didn't want to do anything. It was just way too hot. That's why I haven't been streaming lately. It's just that it is so exhausting to deal with the heat and streaming and whatnot, because yeah, I just didn't want to do anything. It was just way too hot. Yeah, and we had the deaths, and yeah, of course we have the heat, but now we're going to be worrying a lot about the wildfire season here. It is probably going to be one of the worst on record, because like much of the province, high to extreme fire risk. Lightning is easily starting fires. Humans are also starting them. And the fires are already starting to get quite big around these areas. Like let me see here. Let me just open the window here. Look outside the window here. I don't know if you guys can see that actually. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll actually open the door here. It is so yellow out here. Like, let me switch cameras here. To rearrange this here. And I just really want to show you what it looks like outside. It is yellowish, very yellowish. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, like yellowish. Completely yellowish out here. And that obviously has to do with some of the local fires around here. I hate to see it happen, but I could see that the fires could be very powerful once again, because I remember a couple years ago when I had to evacuate this town here. And, yeah, that was terrible. We had to leave the town for like a couple of weeks. And it was very scary because there was like a fire that was so close to the town here, and we weren't even sure if it was going to be, all right or what. So yeah, this is particularly concerning. I just hope that we don't have another fire here and we have to evacuate again. It's like, what can you do? It's just climate change that's causing all of it, so it's sad. And plus, we're going to be getting more of these heat waves thanks to climate change, too. It'll be up to double and triple within the next couple of decades. Alright, with that aside, let's take a look at the rest of today's headlines here.
Watching Reuters TV. Here are your top stories.
Bill Cosby was released from prison.
This I don't get.
After Pennsylvania's highest court overturned his sexual assault conviction. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court's decision comes after Cosby served more than 2 years of a potential 3 to 10-year sentence following his 2018 conviction. The court found that the prosecutor had made a deal with Cosby not to charge him in the case. The comedian and actor was best known for his role as a lovable husband and father in the 1980s television comedy series The Cosby Show, earning him the nickname America's Dad. But his family-friendly reputation was shattered after dozens of women accused him of sexual assault over a period of decades. His conviction was widely seen as a landmark moment in the Me Too movement that brought forth an array of allegations against powerful men in Hollywood and beyond. Cosby was found guilty of sexually assaulting Andrea Constand in his home in 2004 after giving her unidentified pills. But the court ruled Cosby should never have faced charges after striking a non-prosecution deal with a previous district attorney more than 15 years ago, ruling he should not only be discharged, but adding, quote, any future prosecution on these particular charges must be barred.
Why did these people get away with it?
Rumsfeld, the forceful U.S. Defense Secretary for 2 presidents and the main architect of the Iraq War under George W. Bush, has died at 88, his family said on Wednesday. Rumsfeld, who ranks as one of the most powerful men to hold the post, brought charisma and bombast to the Pentagon job, projecting the Bush administration's muscular approach to world affairs. With Rumsfeld in charge, U.S. forces swiftly toppled Iraqi President Saddam Hussein, but failed to maintain law and order in the aftermath, and Iraq descended into chaos and violence. Stuff happens, he told reporters in 2003, amid rampant lawlessness in Baghdad after U.S. troops captured the Iraqi capital. Rumsfeld played a leading role ahead of the war in making the case for the invasion. He warned of the dangers of Iraqi weapons of mass destruction, but no such weapons were ever discovered, and U.S. troops remained in Iraq long after he left his post. Rumsfeld, who also served as Defense Secretary for President Gerald Ford, also oversaw the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan in 2001 to oust the Taliban leaders who had harbored the al-Qaeda leaders responsible for the September 11th attacks on the United States. 20 years later, the U.S. is in the final process of pulling out of Afghanistan. But U.S. forces during Rumsfeld's tenure were unable to track down Osama bin Laden. The al-Qaeda chief slipped past a modest force of U.S. Special Operations troops and CIA officers, along with allied Afghan fighters in the Afghan mountains of Tora Bora in December 2001. U.S. forces killed him in 2011. Rumsfeld became a lightning rod for criticism, and with the Iraq War largely at a stalemate and public support eroding, Bush replaced him in November 2006.
Now, what is the message there? The message is that there are known knowns. There are things we know that we know. There are known unknowns. That is to say, there are things that we now know we don't know.
Knowingly.
Rumsfeld's Rules, his compilation of truisms dating back to the 1970s, he wrote, "If you are not criticized, you may not be doing much." Another quote, equally apt, "It is easier to get into something than out of it."
We've now recovered 4 additional victims.
Another 4 bodies were found overnight in the shattered ruins of a collapsed Miami area.
I'll be back. I'm just going to put something in the oven.
Bringing the confirmed death toll to 16, nearly a week after the building fell. With 147 people still unaccounted for, the massive search and rescue operation pushed into its 7th day as crews searched through a mountain of rubble.
Day 7.
Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava briefed reporters Wednesday.
And I want to thank them once again for their tremendous effort. The world has needed their bravery, putting themselves in harm's way to find people in the rubble.
Nobody has been pulled alive from the mounds of pulverized concrete and twisted metal since the early hours of the devastation. Fire officials have spoken of hearing faint sounds from inside the rubble pile, but have said those noises could come from the ruins settling.
We're not leaving anybody behind.
Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett and other officials and rescuers, however, are still harboring hope of finding survivors, even as the search has become more difficult from the heat and intermittent showers. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Battalion Chief Mark Chavers.
The hope is there. even if it's just one more. If it's 5 more, great, but if one more is, that would make all the difference in the world this late in the game.
Investigators still don't know what caused nearly half of the 40-year-old Champlain Towers South condo to crumble as residents slept in the early hours of last week. A 2018 engineer's report on the 12-floor, 136-unit complex, prepared ahead of a building safety recertification process, found structural deficiencies that are now the focus of inquiries. As recently as April, the Condo Association's president warned residents in a letter that severe concrete damage identified by the engineer around the base of the building had since grown, quote, significantly worse. President Joe Biden and his wife Jill are expected to visit the oceanfront town of Surfside on Thursday.
Alright, just got some breaking news, and this is actually from an hour ago, but I just realized about this. BC Wildfire Service is responding to a wildfire near McKinley Lake, and about 35 kilometers east of Horsefly. This would explain why it is so yellowish outside. Jessica Mack is the fire information officer for the Caribou Fire Center, saying the fire is estimated to be... Oh, just before I go on. Horsefly is east of Williams Lake, so it's not quite that far away. It's probably like an hour or so, away, but I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Kinley Lake, let me look that up here. Sorry, got to interrupt, but I believe it's important to just tell you guys what exactly is going on with me. Just because I'm a streamer, and it'd be interesting to know what's going on in my area, but for emergency situations. Kinley Lake. There we go. There's McKinley Lake down southeast, and there's one east. So, okay. So, McKinley Lake... So, McKinley Lake is 101 kilometers east of Williams Lake. That's quite, not far away. So, Jessica Mack is the fire information officer for the Caribou Fire Center. The fire is estimated to be 150 hectares. And we do have resources that are on site, and nearby McKinley Lake Recreation Campsite is closed to the public to allow firefighting personnel to conduct fire suppression operations safely. Max said there are 32 personnel responding to that fire, and they are being supported by a helicopter. Mackey added that there were air tankers and skimmers on site, but they've left the incident. There are no structures threatened at this time. So yeah, that would explain the yellowish lighting outside, because it usually doesn't do that. I thought it was some kind of sunset, but apparently it's not. So that's quite interesting. Alright, let's just resume the news a little bit here.
The United Kingdom and European Union declared a ceasefire in what's become a messy food fight after the EU agreed on Wednesday to turn down the heat for 90 days on a post-Brexit dispute dubbed the, quote, sausage war. The agreement will extend a grace period for shipments of non-frozen sausages or minced meat from Britain to Northern Ireland, which was due to end on July 1st. London called for and was granted the 3-month extension to allow the two sides to resolve the trade difficulties over Northern Ireland, which has faced disruption since Britain completed its exit from the EU at the end of 2020. As part of the deal, the EU will make it easier for medicines and guide dogs to cross the Irish Sea and allow Northern Irish drivers to travel to Ireland with existing insurance documents. The ceasefire is designed to ease simmering tensions following Brexit. Britain described the extension as a positive first step, but said both sides still need to agree to a permanent solution. $80 billion. That was the opening market valuation Wednesday for Chinese ride-hailing app Didi as the stock made its debut on the New York Stock Exchange. The stock opened at $16.65 a share, a near 19% jump from the $14 IPO price. This was the biggest U.S. IPO for a Chinese company since Alibaba went public 7 years ago. Kathleen Smith follows the IPO market for Renaissance Capital.
It's China's largest ride-hailing company, and so it's big. It's bigger than Uber. It's a dominant player, and it looks like the valuation that was placed on the company was reasonable. I think investors are a little worried about regulatory crackdowns that China is putting on its companies and on this company in particular regarding anti-competitive practices and how it compensates its drivers.
Didi, the Chinese version of Uber, was such a formidable rival to Uber in China that Uber eventually closed up shop and sold the business to Didi back in 2016 in exchange for a 12.8% stake. But ride-hailing is a tough business to make money in the U.S. and China. Didi did turn a profit in the first quarter, but it has lost money for the past 2 years. It is planning to use the cash raised from the IPO to expand beyond China and beef up other services, including food delivery. Enthusiasm for Didi waned into the close, with the stock ending its debut day with barely a gain.
You're up to date. Check back later as stories develop.
Alright, that was today's Reuters headlines for today, and once again, once there's significant updates on the BC heat wave and the wildfire situation here, I'll let you guys know. Yeah, these, when you got wildfires like this, it is a extremely fluid situation, so anything can happen in this, in these circumstances. Alright, let's unmute RetroArch here. In the meantime, I'll just play some games, because I need to relax. Let's see. Like this. Let me just close unnecessary stuff. Let me check Task Manager. Normal. Okay, so last time we went up against Drake and we failed. I'd say we were pretty much halfway through, or more than halfway, but still unsuccessful, so we just need level ups here. We've almost grinded everyone out for the time being, except for Albert, so we're gonna put him in. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter who we have right now, so I'll just keep it like this.
Phoenix Dart 95. Hello there, my friend. How are you?
Good! Phoenix Dart, how are ya? Welcome to the stream. What are you up to? Currently dealing with a frickin' heat wave. Still 27 degrees. Yeah, it's 30 degrees outside right now. It's 28 inside my house. Yeah, over the past couple of days, I've been unable to stream because I've been so exhausted from this heat wave, which brought the outside of my house up to, like, 43 degrees Celsius. And brought the inside of my house, of the living room, like, around 26, and my bedroom to, like, 32 degrees. And because of the dry spell and the excessive heat, we now have extreme risks of wildfires in the province of BC. And speaking of which, there's a fire east of Williams Lake, which is where I live, about 100 kilometers east. And it's turned the area entirely orange and whatnot out there. Like, I don't know if you can see it right, but it's entirely yellowish. And so it is in here, because that's because of the lights. this is all reminiscent. Well, it's always reminiscent of wildfires out here. But this could be a very bad one due to the excessive heat and the drought conditions we are seeing.
Phoenix Dart 95. Lucky you, my friend. It's really cold here in my Brazilian state. I love heat, but I see temperatures as asterisks in case.
Yeah, this could be a really bad fire season. I hope we don't have to evacuate again. This city has about like 11,000 people, which all had to evacuate from a couple years ago. Oh, I should have put Sean in the back row. Be a sec here. Let's see here. Alright, there we go. Yeah, and due to the heat wave, it brought Lytton, the hottest spot in Canada, to like 49.5 degrees Celsius, almost 50 degrees. And also due to the heat wave, there's been an abnormal increase in the amount of deaths, which is possibly related to the heat.
I have entered in your Discord. Pretty cool.
Oh, thank you for joining in there. There should be some updates that develop in there. And, what else? Yeah, there's like an ambulance crisis down in Vancouver that exacerbated the whole situation there. Ugh. Yeah, honestly, I'm very concerned of what's going to be happening over the next couple of months because we never get heat waves like this early. Like it's June, still June. We never get heat waves this early or this intense ever. And this is the hottest the country has ever been, ever.
Phoenix Dart 95. I have a Discord and I'm doing streams if you are interested. But for a while, I'm not doing streams because or the finished lessons on the POS graduate in sociology.
Ah, that's interesting. I'll try to take a look at it today. Come on. Temperatures just drop down already. I'll have the air conditioner blow at me, actually. Oh, I also got some new lights in the back. I gotta test them out here. Be a sec here. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, and I have to get off. Just unplug the fan here.
Phoenix Dart 95. What's this ploft sounds? Is there any Woody Woodpecker crazy in your telling? Ha ha ha.
Google that desktop light to white. Okay. What's this flat sounds? Flat sounds? What do they sound like? Oh, I print some new songs too. I'm gonna test them out. I think I have them. Oh, here we are. How's the, Oh, thank you, Fennec Start, for hosting with one viewer. Thank you very much. So, Phoenix, how's the, coronavirus pandemic in your country? Has it improved, or...?
Fennec Start 95. It's terrible.
Yeah?
Fennec Start 95. A new record of cases some days ago. About 100k new cases in one day.
That's crappy. Alright. Oh, this is kind of cool. I even got the lamp on the light sink there. Yeah, let's see. After this battle, I'll let you pick the characters, Phoenix. How about that? Nice. Nice.
Fennec Start 95. Jair Messias Bolsonaro is almost getting an impeachment.
Ah, that's wonderful. Hopefully he gets out and replaced with someone that's even better. The people from Brazil deserve much more than that.
Are reuniting to take him out of the presidency.
Oh, nice. Oh, wrong person.
Phoenix Start 90. Brazil is the worst country on the fight against coronavirus. This is happening because the president doesn't care about the health of people or the battle against the virus. He thinks that people get immunized by getting the virus and waiting to be recover. Phoenix Start 95. In Brazil this is called Imunidade de Rebanho.
Politicians just saying random crap just to distract from their failures. Basically what Trump was doing. No! Wow.
Phoenix Start 95. For that he's against vaccines. He doesn't care about wearing masks. He took out a mask from a kid. He's more evil than Melbu from a with Ultra Instinct M.
Our province is going to be reopening more tomorrow. We'll be lifting the mask mandate. People will be able to visit each other with no limits now. Get Albert some. What games have you been streaming lately, Phoenix, by the way?
Phoenix Dart 95. Yeah. He's crazy. I hope 2022 come. I want to press this button so hard for a new president. Jair Bolsonaro needs to go. Phoenix Dart 95. I'll be right back.
Ready. Nice. Almost there for Spinny Cane. After that, we could just Rod Typhoon to get our SP back. I think I should go back and get some items. Go, Albert.
You always make me so happy.
What?
They made no sound. The triple blazing kept him out. In my mind, I heard that old wind thinking, how can we the sound of wind if nothing moves around? His heart shining
I had no confidence I could go over that. Almost there. Oh, huge breaking news. The entire village of Lytton has been ordered to evacuate due to a wildfire. Okay, this is scary. Oh dear, the fire is going through the town. Damn it. Sorry, give me a sec here. Jeez.
Now in Alberta, people are scrambling to find ways to be cool and safe as well.
Just a sec here. I gotta listen to this.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Chang. Adrian is away. Tonight, BC's brutal heat shifts east, but leaves behind grief and another threat.
This emergency went beyond anything we've experienced before. It has been an ocean of intense heat.
A stunning death toll and growing danger from wildfires. An indigenous group makes another painful discovery of unmarked graves near a residential school in BC.
It's just, it's devastating.
While 2 more churches have been set ablaze.
These acts of violence and intimidation is not reconciliation.
Bill Cosby is released from prison. Why his conviction was overturned and what happens now. Plus, Ontario takes another cautious step towards reopening. It's a long-awaited reunion.
People generally rush to restaurants to go eat. I think my Emma is the best cooking, so I'm going to come in first regardless.
This is the National. We are following a breaking situation in British Columbia tonight, where after days of intense heat, a wildfire is descending on the community of Lytton. It adds a picture emerging today of just how dangerous and deadly this heat wave is. This afternoon, the BC Coroner Service announced a surge in sudden deaths over the last 5 days. At least 486 since the heat wave began on Friday. Now we're going to head straight to Katie Nicholson, who is tonight following this breaking news for us out of the community of Lytton, BC. It is a community, Katie, that set an all-time Canadian heat record for the past 3 days straight. You've heard from the mayor, who described what he said.
Yeah, this is an absolutely harrowing phone call. This happened earlier this evening. There was literally a 15-minute window between when they first smelled smoke in the town and it became fully engulfed in flames. There's now an evacuation order in place. This is a town of about 250 people now desperately trying to get away from this wildfire. This is just the latest tragedy brought on by this heat dome.
Safe in the shade with a friend, and Wagner worries how other seniors have weathered the past week without air conditioning.
Just wondering what the devil are they doing? There's no way in that type of apartment, no way you can get ground through or anything. You can just sit there in rows. And it's sad.
The BC Coroner Service says between Friday and this afternoon, at least 486 sudden deaths have been reported. That's 300 more deaths than they would normally see in the same period. Certainly
we've seen a significant increase compared to previous years, same time frame, and we suspect that many of the deaths are attributable to the heat.
Many of those who died this past week are believed to be seniors who lived alone.
Heat is a killer.
Anthony Cooperschmidt runs the Seniors Network in Vancouver's West End. He says people need to fill the gaps services can't.
I think it's really important for older adults to connect with their neighbors to ensure that they have those relationships.
All levels of government were caught off guard by the record-shattering heat wave.
This emergency went beyond anything we've experienced before. It has been an ocean of intense heat.
Today, tacit admissions from leaders, big changes are needed.
So we have to be ready. Because we can't ignore the possibility of a next time.
As the heat dome shifts, a new threat emerges.
This is us. We're on our way out. That's for our homes.
This wall of flames sparked up near Kamloops, prompting evacuations as it rapidly spread over 4,000 hectares.
It's really hard to control the edge and do anything with people. Really, the big thing we can do is structure protection, and just like throwing up sprinklers around houses and ensuring that people get out safely.
Now again, Andrew, we are keeping an eye on Lytton, trying to figure out what's happening there. The last word we have from the mayor that it is fully engulfed in flames. One of 41 wildfires burning around the province right now, 26 of them. They had started in the last 2 days, and it's not just fire, it's also flooding. You have to remember there's rapid alpine melt here. There was a lot of mountain tops where it was like 32 degrees, like 2,000 meters up. That is unprecedented. That is creating massive river runoff. So the province is also a patchwork of flooding warnings and watches, all because of this melt. So, floods and fires both being felt here because of this heat dome that is now moving further east.
Yeah, Katie, it's so clearly one of these problems that causes other problems that cause other problems, and so forth. We'll continue to stay on top of that, and of course the situation in Lytton is very fluid and changing very quickly, so I know you'll stay on top of that for us. Thanks so much.
This is crazy.
Now in Alberta, people are scrambling to find ways to keep cool and safe as well.
This is crazy. This is just have BC one. Sorry everyone, in light of all the breaking developments here, I've got to get off and focus on covering this story for my local Facebook news page. It's pretty popular and it's probably really needed right now. So I'm very sorry to cut this short, but I'm gonna have to end it here for now. Yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. A village that's south of here of Lytton has gotten an evacuation order because The village is on fire. It's literally on fire. There's been word about around 20 structures being lost or something like that. It is chaos down there. The people are losing their homes. This is so sad. Yeah, so I'm sorry guys. I have to I'm sorry guys. I have to get off and cover this. Apologies for this. Alright, that was a Legend Dragoon Endurance Mode Part 11. Be sure to follow me for the latest on my streams and whatnot. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Sparkid. I'll see you guys next time.